Hello everyone and welcome to AC Spotlight. Today I'm joined by Elliott Reeves-Gibbon, actor, director, and dungeon master of the live interactive D&D show, It's Your Role. Welcome, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh man, I'm so excited to learn more because it's this weird thing where most of our creative sort of the way that we sort of showcase ourselves is kind of digitally or in front of a table. You've got a crowd with you. But before we actually get into that, when it comes to running games, what is your tabletop snack of choice?
Oh, you know what? I've been getting really into trail mix at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
But the trail mix is predominantly little pieces of chocolate. So we've got your nuts, you've got your raisins, but 50% of it is made up of chocolate.
A bunch of Hershey's Kisses, a bunch of M&Ms, just all thrown into a bag.
Yeah, literally. So I actually don't think it can be classed as trail mix, but it's great to pick at because, you can root around as you're maybe throwing out an adult red dragon at someone, a bit of an almond, as you're throwing out some mind flayers, little bit of M&Ms, little treat for yourself.
You know what? It's one of those things where, like, I know when trail mix, it's like a lot of nuts. It's a lot of like pretzels, like pretzel bits.
Yeah.
That can get really crunchy. Chocolate, not so much. I think it's a solid choice, and it
Absolutely.
gives you a little bit of sugar too.
Yeah. The only bad thing about it is that as a voice actor, chocolate coating your throat is not the one.
Yeah.
Like, that is the only possible time you might want to use it, because usually it's apples. You want like
it's a green apple, right?
Yeah, green apples. Before I do any voice acting, just bite into a green apple because it kind of takes away the acidity in your mouth and just kind of clears it all out. Chocolate, though, it gets really onto your throat and suddenly you've aged about 40 years, which sometimes might be good.
We're learning something about today, about voice acting in today's interview. We didn't even have to do that, but we're learning more. I learned that green apple trick somewhere in the ether.
It's an oldie but a goldie.
But to sort of the point we sort of began this with is that TTRPGs in essence are a collaborative storytelling game, but It's Your Role takes that really kind of to a new level. Do you mind telling people who may not know about It's Your Role? Could you describe more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So It's Your Role. We are a live D&D show. Predominantly, we get actors and voiceover artists on stage playing a game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, but we randomly choose an audience member to come up and be in the show for the whole show. So they literally come on stage, we dress them up, we give them a character sheet, and they are with us for the entire show. Hence, It's Your Role, because you get a role in the show.
That's incredible. I know plenty of friends who would love to go to a D&D show and go, there's a possibility for me to be on stage. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you go to one of our shows and you're a bit like, oh, I wasn't picked, that's not the end. That was like one of the first things we thought about was, great, this will get people into the venue because they want to be the person that comes on stage. But the minute someone gets picked, we don't want everyone else to leave because it wasn't them.
Right. Well, it's like doing a lottery tickets. You're in essence really hoping you get picked, which I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah. So, people also get to name all of the NPCs in the show.
That's smart.
Yeah, we also have all of these instruments hidden in the audience under people's seats. And when the show's on, you may look at your instrument and it'll have a little tag on it that says, this instrument controls this actor's mind. And when you sound the instrument, the actor has to do the opposite of what they've just said. So there's loads of interactivity that we think is quite lo-fi, but really fun.
That's so cool. I was kind of struggling just for me, sort of sitting here, not being within sort of that realm, going, well, how else can you get them in? Like, obviously, one audience member on stage, that's a complete, interactivity action for an audience member. But how does everyone else sort of participate? That's really cool. When the beginning of the show itself, what were the humble beginnings like? Was it simply like a spark of an idea that grew to what it is today?
It came from a cancelled session.
Okay. How does that figure?
Yes. So we were all of I was we were playing with my friends who are all actors, voiceover artists, and we're all very busy. Everyone's really busy at the moment, and someone just texted and said, "Hey, I've had this come up. I'm sorry I can't make it." But all the rest of us were there, and we were getting to the meaty, crunchy part of the adventure, and we were like, we can't carry on without this other player. So we were like, in classic British fashion, we were like, should we go to the pub?
Right.
So we were sat in this pub and we were thinking about, oh, haven't we had fun so far with this campaign? We were doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, so it was good fun. And then we thought, oh, we should turn this into a podcast. But then we also thought, hold on, we're just there's a lot of podcasts out there. There's even one called Not Another D&D Podcast. So
that's right. Yeah.
So we were like, what can we do that is a bit more interesting? Maybe does a bit more good, but is also a bit more in our wheelhouse as people with theatre backgrounds. And we thought, well, what if we did it on stage? Oh my God, that's cool. And then we thought, what can we add interactivity wise? How about we get a member of the audience up? And then all the other ideas started floating in about, well, you know, we can have these instruments, and then we're like, we can have this big goblet of fire that people put names into, and then when the adventure's going on and they come across NPCs, the dungeon master roots around, picks out a name, and that's the name of the NPC.
So it's funny because when it comes to most actual plays and creatives within the TTRPG industry, we're all building something in hopes that we can gather a large audience. That's sort of like the end goal of being at a convention or having a show. You guys hop, skipped, and jumped right into it, and it's garnering attention, and it's garnering an audience. You've done it. You cracked the code.
It's so funny because we came up with the idea. We did a little practice to a closed audience and friends and family, and it went really well. And we thought, great, we know the idea works. And we happened to know someone at an off West End theatre, and we managed to get in there for one night to put the show on. Right. And we were like, we're not going to sell any tickets to this. This is going to be
we're entertaining ourselves at this point.
Yeah, kind of. And we sold out, and there was all these people there. And we were like, well, everyone's here now. We're going to have to make it work. And it went really well. And the theatre ended up booking us every month consistently. So we ended up performing like 15 or 16 shows there that most of them sold out. They all sold really well, which was so surprising.
I mean, obviously, and I made this pretty apparent prior to recording, is I'm from the US, you're from the UK.
Yes.
I know in terms of my experience being in California that the D&D and the TTRPG scene is kind of, it's kind of thriving here. Is the same could be said in sort of over in the UK?
Oh yeah, massively. Like European TTRPG like circles at the moment are it's really lovely to see, because I think for a long time, if I can make a comparison, we have been looking at what's going on in the US with all of these fantastic groups and things, and going, we've kind of been pulling up our what's the phrase, pulling up our britches, or like putting our
it all started here.
Sleeves.
What the hell?
Yeah. Rolling up our sleeves and being like, right, we're gonna. And there's so many incredible actual plays or groups or like tabletop industry like circles. It's really getting really exciting. But everyone's so lovely, and because it is in the UK, everyone kind of knows everyone, and it's really lovely, and it is growing massively. I mean, the fact that we've got the D&D Expo in London this year is like, that's okay, right. Like Wizards is recognizing that there's cool stuff going on here. So yeah.
And speaking of that, because again, you guys are going to be at the D&D Expo,
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
guys from London to Essex to North Yorkshire and beyond, the crew of It's Your Role you guys have traveled all over, sharing your stories to the crowd. I'm going to ask you. I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask you to make a list. I think that'd be ridiculous.
Yes.
But I will ask you, what location has been your favorite to perform at?
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a difficult question because I'm gonna give you a controversial take here. That some of those places we've done conventions, I find conventions really stressful.
Mm.
Like as someone who is like organizing something and going on stage, the minute I'm on stage, I'm like, oh, this is my happy place. But in the run up to it, super stressful. So it'll probably be somewhere that wasn't a convention, somewhere that was we were just going to do some shows.
I wonder if because it's hyper focused, because of conventions
Yeah.
and expos, the fact that everyone does know it's all about the tabletops, no, it's all about
Yes.
TTRPGs, that it could be too lasered focus. It's great it's enjoyed. You want something that can be joined by all.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely.
Um,
I think my favorite place might have been okay, I've got it. We went up to Durham, which is in the north of England, and it's where they did a lot of the principal filming for Harry Potter for Hogwarts.
oh,
And it's this absolutely incredible like city that's on like a peninsula island with loads of 1,000-year-old bridges going over it and big spires, and we were like, this is the perfect place to do like a D&D show because it's just so thematic.
yeah.
And we were walking around dressed as wizards and things, and we were just like coming upon like photo opportunities because we were like, oh my god, look at this old bridge, someone get under it and pretend to be a troll. Yeah.
I've done my research. I've done as much as I can. Is this the same location where you had a bunch of candles hanging from string from the ceiling?
So we've done that with a couple of ones where anytime the venue will let us go up into the roof and do that.
Up into
we
the
will
rafters.
we will have hanging candles. Some places are like, we're not letting you up there because we'll be like squirrels or chipmunks in the rafters.
Right.
But no, that was either some of our shows in London, I think. No, the one in Durham was we ended up killing a player. We ended up killing the guest who came on stage, which has never happened before.
It's an honor at that point.
Yeah,
First time.
He decided he wanted to be with the bad guys, and our Tabaxi monk one-shotted him.
Oh, wow.
So then for the rest of the show, I was like, what do I do? So we had him lie down on the front of the stage, and I just took off my cloak and we laid it on for like the rest of the show.
Whispering him, just stay here for a bit, all right? Don't worry.
Yeah. It was, So yeah, I think Durham, one, because of how beautiful it was, but two, because of how memorable killing the guest who we always try and be super nice to. We're like, this is all about you. This is your time. Bam!
You chose to be a villain. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, we've learned about your show a little bit. For you yourself, obviously, now that we know that it's your role kind of graduated from sort of being a home game and kind of going on from there.
Yeah.
But we didn't really learn about the dynamic of the actual table. For you yourself, did you graduate from a player seat, or were you the GM?
I am and have always been a forever GM.
Oh no!
Yeah,
We got to get you in the player seat.
Yeah, literally. Even when I'm doing new systems, I am always the person who gets the rule book, teaches it to other people. Which in some ways it feels really great to teach other games to other people. But yeah, the few times that I have been a player, I've been incredibly chaotic. Like, this is my right. I never get to be a player. I deserve this.
I'm gonna be the pain in your butt. It's gonna happen.
Literally. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I mean, no GM is a lone island.
Yes.
So how did you fund your players?
Honestly, it was a bunch of my friends, and it was a bunch of other actors that we know who we were like, hey, wanna come and do this? And then it was a bit about party composition, but also we kind of all needed to agree, or we needed to have people at the table or on stage who can be really generous performers. Because we've probably all come across, TTRPG players who are like, this is my time to cut loose and I'm going to have fun with it. I think for the show, where we're bringing up an audience member who might be a bit nervous to come on stage, or it might be the first time ever playing Dungeons and Dragons, we need to make them feel as backed up and kick-ass amazing as possible. Yeah. So
cheerleader energy required.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did need to find people who were really fun to watch, but also really happy to go to the guest and go, what do you think? This is your chance to look good. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And funny thing about that, because you did mention sort of learning new systems. So far we've seen you run games in Dungeons & Dragons, as well as Soul Muppets Paint the Town Red. You had sort of a vampire, what we do at night kind of experience. Are there any other systems that you are interested in running?
Oh, don't get me started on this, because the thing is, because with Paint the Town Red, when I got it and I was like, great, we're gonna play this, I was like, let's hire like a 1,000-year-old abandoned church in South London.
That's right.
And play it in there. So for all of these other games that I want to play, I'm trying to think of thematic places to play them. So Seventh Sea by Chaosium, I want to play on the Golden Hind, which was Francis Drake's ship. That is like from the Elizabethan era. I want to play that on there. We have got Delta Green. I want to find a really liminal space to play that in. Mothership, I want to play that. I want to play that on a spaceship, so I'm trying to find a spaceship.
Well, it's gonna be those are rare.
Yeah, or even just like an escape room that's space themed.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or also as well, I've got this. See, you've got me started now, and I won't stop.
Hey, you know what? Well, this is all recorded, so we've got a visual, a diary here, recorded diary of what the checklist is.
Also, because I'm in England, we have castles all over the place. I want to play a game of Mythic Bastionland, which is this Arthurian. Yeah.
I'm in a campaign right now, Blades in the Dark, and we're just ending it. And our GM was like, well, we have two options. We can either play Mythic Bastion, or we can play Fabula Ultima. So we chose Fabula Ultima, but I did make a Bastion character just in case.
Yeah, Mythic Bastionland is high fantasy Arthurian omens, quests. I want to play that in a castle.
Incredible. Yeah. I love that. As a GM, we are, describing, especially for like Dungeons and Dragons, we are describing epic battles, the explosion of magic fire. We're, describing epic strikes, the impacts of sword swings. On that last point, however, has mocapping with swords for the game War Tales helped with your battle descriptions?
Absolutely, 100%. Because I used to do full combat reenactment, and that's kind of how I got into motion capture, was from beating the ever-loving poop out of people. So, yes, absolutely. I love nothing more than, especially martial characters when they're attacking, or I've got like an orc who's attacking or something like that. I love to describe, great, they're going to go from up right by your clavicle, come down and bring it in a side sweep, and then press and thrust into your stomach. I love it. It helps so much. Yeah, especially as well, because when you're training with swords, you know the points to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can always just kind of spin the internal or roll the internal dice in your head and go, great, it's going to hit upper left thigh, going up to the right side of the chest, because you know instantly where that the kind of the trajectory of the blade would go.
Yeah, I'm sure I've gone through this too, where like a player will go, well, I'll attack, and you're like, okay, how? Tell me, tell me, how do you attack? If you don't know, I'll tell you how, but you tell me.
Really good for the guests in It's Your Role, who, like you just said, will tend to be like, great, I'm going to attack, and then they roll a critical and they're like, yay. And I'll be like, how do you do it? And they'll be like, yeah, I just get the sword in. And I'll be like, great, I'm going to make you sound really cool now. You bend down and you throw yourself up into the earth, bring the greatsword up over your head and cleave it into the orc's head. The orc's head splits apart and the sword is now buried in the stump of the orc's neck.
There you
and
go.
They're like, I did that.
Yeah. And then the crowd eats it up. 100%. Yeah. It's funny because when we're telling stories like this, at home or in a digital setting, I've heard a little bit about like what has sort of stuck with your mind. The player, the guest character who unfortunately died and now has to lay down on stage. But it's wild because you guys are obviously telling a story not only to the internet, because it is being recorded, it's being showcased. You're not only trying to entertain your players who are there exactly at the table, you're also doing it for an audience. So you've got 3 factors on you right now. Is there a moment? I mean, you could always say it's the audience member who died, but is there a moment where an audience member surprised or shocked you?
Yes, absolutely. I know exactly the point. An audience member, we got them up for the show, and they were playing an orc paladin, and I said to them on stage, I went, great, tell us, what is your character's goal? What do they want to achieve by trying to get all of this money from quests? And they said, well, he wants to learn to make the world's best curry.
Oh, okay.
And I was a bit like, okay, all right, let's roll with it. So as the adventure was going on, they were doing the quest and throwing in a couple of like Indian cuisine based puns along the way. And then in the second half of the adventure, they fought an adult white dragon. And the guest who'd come up was in the maw of the dragon, literally pushing its jaws apart like Captain America in that helicopter scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was just meant to be a joke, but I was like, yeah, and as you're in the maw of the white dragon pushing its teeth apart, you smell cumin, paprika, garam masala. And I was like, and you can tell the dragon's just had a curry. And the guest was like, great, I let my arms go and I let the dragon eat me.
No.
I was like, what? I was like, yeah, this is my happy place. I'm going to be in the stomach of a dragon surrounded by curry.
Well, guess you can go ahead and take a seat now.
Yeah, but it was so funny because they then, great, okay, the dragon eats you. Here's some damage. They survived into the stomach, and then they ratatouille'd the dragon.
Oh, okay, that's going to live with you forever.
So like they were then talking to the dragon, be like, stop being so nasty, you. And the dragon rolled, I think it was a wisdom save, failed it. So then it believed that this adventure in its stomach was,
I guess it's here to stay, I guess. It's not going anywhere. Yeah. I can't kill it.
No, so that was totally out of pocket, totally unexpected, and it will live with me forevermore.
I love that. I'll bring it down a little bit, but in terms of when we're telling stories like this, especially when you are trying to be as flexible and as entertaining to an audience, is rules kind of get pushed to the wayside a little bit. They're not written in stone, but there always has to be something there. So my question to you is there a rule at your table that is written in stone?
I think the thing that often my players would like to have more flexibility on, that I am like, no, that's not happening, is quite often they will just ask for advantage.
Oh, okay. No, I know this feeling very, very much so. Yeah.
They'll attempt something and they'll just say, "Can I have advantage?" And I'll go, "Absolutely not. You haven't suggested anything that would grant you advantage, nor is the thing you're trying to achieve in any place to have disadvantage. So, no, absolutely not."
Yeah.
So that is one thing. I will not hand out advantage and inspiration willy nilly. I know that some GMs love to do that kind of thing because it really hypes up the players. But for me, you need to earn that. You need to earn it.
It's also an encouraging method because it's like, all right, you can't just stand up and go, "I got it, I got advantage." It's like, no, be creative a little bit. We can,
yeah, 100%.
We can flex the creativity muscles a little bit and sort of paint me a picture of why you would earn it.
Yeah, if a player wants to come up with a cool, even out of pocket way to achieve something like letting the dragon swallow them, sometimes I'll go, yeah, all right, that's advantage. But if they're just saying, "Great, I just want to do this," no, that's just going to be a straight roll, and that's a hard line.
Well, thank you so much, Elliott, for joining me today and sharing your adventures, not only with myself, but the entire internet at large. Where can people find your projects?
Sure. So you can find It's Your Role wherever you get your social medias at It's Your Role Show, or you can also just search It's Your Role D&D live show wherever you use your search engines, and see if you're in Europe or the UK, see where we'll be coming to perform next.
Heck yeah! Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.